just separate a good part of your front section out of the way. Make sure it's nice and even, and just use as much or as little as you'd like. And then just tie it off or clip it out of the way, as long as you can see past it and it doesn't get in the way of what you'll be doing in the back. That's what matters. And then take the top section and just make sure it's all nice and brushed out. And then separate another section, kind of about 2 to 3 inches back. This is what you'll be using to cover up what's underneath of the beehive. So try to make a nice clean line when you part it. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it perfect, but you might find it makes it a little bit easier to style. Remember not to make the hair too thin or it won't do its job later on. And again, just tie it off and keep it out of your way. At this point, you should be left with just a small bit of hair. This hair is not very important to do much of anything with, so you can either do a French twist and roll it up and pin it in place, much like I did in my Audrey Hepburn video, or you can just brush it up, make it nice and smooth. I'm going with a slightly simpler beehive today, a very classic one. And bring it up as high as you can, and again, put it in a very tight ponytail. And that's if you don't do the French twist. At this point is where you'll be creating the volume to go underneath of the beehive, and this part's pretty important because if you get it too flat, no one will know it's a beehive, and it'll also fall down and become very flat during the day. So I'm sure most of you have seen the Bump It commercials where you put a bump it underneath and create a lot of volume that way. Even though I would like to have one, I haven't gotten one yet. So I will be using some hair extensions. And what I'm going to do is just kind of roll this up into a ball. And then I'm going to put a hairnet over top of it. And I've kind of created my own Bump It. I'd like this to be more long than round, and as you can see, it's kind of it's alive, but it's kind of a longer shape than it is round. And I'm going to just find a place behind the second ponytail and pin it in place. If you don't have hair extensions, other things can work. The most important bit is that it matches your hair, because there's always that possibility that it'll show through later on. But say if you have dark hair, you could get a dark stocking and put inside of it just about anything, even socks. So experiment, see what you can pin in place, and what matches your hair the best as you can get, and that's all that really matters. If you don't have anything at all to use under the hair, just with this ponytail back here, put it higher up than I did and tease it to death. Just tease it as much as you can and make it as big as you possibly can. Pin it in place as a bun and use it as the volume maker instead of a Bump It or a hair piece. Okay, now that I have my homemade Bump It in place, I'm just going to take this ponytail back here and blend with it so you can't tell that it's there at all. And this part isn't really important. You can just blend it in with underneath there, any way you choose. In my case, I'm kind of wrapping it around the extensions that I put in there. Okay, so I have the whole ponytail blended in with the form I made. At this point, I'm just going to take a little hairspray on the back just to smooth out the underneath layer. You do want this part to be nice and smooth and tight, really as tight as you can, probably even tighter than what I did. Let's go ahead and start tearing this mess down. And just comb it out so it's nice and smooth. Once you have all of this smoothed out, just place it over the form and start to mold in place. Kind of play with it, brush it out, and just start to get it into the beehive shape. It's not absolutely necessary when using something else to build the volume, but you still might find that it's a little bit best to just go ahead and lightly tease the underneath layer of this section. This will add even more volume and also blend what you have under there a little bit easier. And then just start to kind of comb in place and get everything how you want it. Start to smooth out the shape. Just take it to a twist and then kind of tuck it underneath of the hair. And just keep fiddling with it until you got it right. And start to pin in place. Now if you're anything like me, you'll have to do it several times before it looks okay, but that's all right. And then just take the comb and lightly pull on some of the hairs to make it more of an even shape. Okay, I have it pinned underneath. As you can see, all I did was I pulled it back and I just tucked it under there. I tucked it underneath of itself. There's various ways you can do this, but I find that to be the easiest way, just allowing the form to kind of hide itself. If you have short bangs, that's fine. Just style them as you normally would. That's actually a really cute look. But for me, I'm going to part my hair on the side, and I want a deep side part, as they often did in the 60s. And what you're going to do is you're going to take each section, and you even may want to tease them, but you don't have to, and just smooth them into the rest of what you have going on. Pin them in and hide them underneath of the bun. You want a nice rounded bang if you have bangs that are long, such as mine. So try to give them this kind of rounded effect, and style them to have a very full round bottom. If you don't have full bangs, again, you might want to tease them. I know I've been saying that a lot, but for vintage hairstyles, the most important thing is fullness. And just tuck the bangs into underneath. Make sure to hide them as best as you can. And then you kind of just want to work on smoothing everything together. now's where you get pretty heavy with the hairspray. Have it a good distance away from your head and just spray the whole thing down lightly. And work on smoothing down its shape and evening out the hairs. And there you go. A rather typical beehive. Keep in mind that this is just the beehive that comes to minds for people when they think of this hairstyle. Actually, a beehive is really just a lot of hair that's piled on top of the head. So it can be done in curls and chignons and all kinds of different things. And this is a Beehive series, so periodically I will be coming up with another beehive hairstyle. For now, here is a very simple one. You can add things such as a headband. You can do all kinds of things, flowers or just a band of material. Experiment and have fun. So I just want to thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Aya.